So it's a new series, we're gonna run it. We're gonna take this company to 100K per month and bring you along for the ride. Now, if you're planning to start your own agency or service-based business, watch this series. We're gonna go from 0 to 10 to 10 to 20, 20 to 40, 50 to 100. This is our goal. We're gonna take this business to 100K per month, and you're gonna watch every single step of the way. That being said, let's roll intro. Welcome to the $1 Million Journey. Now, before we jump into things, it's really important to know that the business that I'm talking about is a company that's already been running. We haven't operated in the month of March and April right now. So let's just consider our revenue is 0 and we're pretty much starting from scratch, but we already have a sort of foundation. I'm gonna rewind it back so that you can actually see what we look at to build a proper foundation and then take it from there. Now, in terms of our fulfillment and what we actually do, we actually help people. We paint houses, essentially. However, the business is an agency. I don't go out and paint homes. How it works is we get the clients, we sign the deals, we supply the paint, and we organize the trade to go out there and do the fulfillment. So very much so like contractor arbitrage. I don't actually go out there and paint homes. Now, that being said, that's the essentials of the business. That's basically the 30,000 foot overview of what we do. But when building something like this, there's a couple things you want to keep in mind. Number one is you want to look at what is your highest point of leverage. And this is any sort of business, right? You want to zoom out and say, what are the most leveraged things I can do to absolutely crush it and beat my competition? So you want to look at your competition first, research what they're doing. For me, nobody in my space is able to utilize marketing in the online world like I can. I know it like the back of my hand. There's no contractors out there which know how to do what we do at the level we operate at. So that's my point on leverage. We know how to market, we know how to sell, we know how to organize trade like no one else and do the arbitrage and buy back our time. And most importantly, with this model, we save our time. Number two is how can we create a no-brainer offer, right? How can we create an offer so good that people feel stupid saying no, basically? And if you haven't read $100 Million Offers by Alex Hormozi, highly recommend it. Probably the greatest book ever written on creating an offer. Step number three, you want to look at what is the most logical steps I can take to acquire clients. Now, once again, $100 Million Leads is the best book out there to find clients, and it's going to show you exactly what you need to do. For me, I have the leverage and I can use advertising and spend money to acquire clients. I don't need to do the cold calls. I don't need to door knock. But if I had nothing in my account and I was starting this business from scratch, that's exactly what I would do. I would pick up my phone and I would get an email list somewhere. I would scrape Google Maps. I would go through Google Maps and find all my prospects. If you're doing B2B, right, business to business, and you're trying to sell marketing, for example, I would go on Google Maps. I would find my ideal prospect and I would cold call every single one of them. That's how I'd get my first few clients. And that's what I did for my agency. In full transparency, building my agency up, it's exactly what I did. I cold called leads, booked them on a sales call and sold them. So that's exactly what I would do if I had nothing. But we have the luxury of a little bit of cash flow. So we're gonna spend money on ads, and that's how we're gonna acquire clients, okay? Next is how are we going to fulfill on our promises? Simple, we're gonna use contractor arbitrage. I'm not 100% skilled in painting. I know how to paint a house. I know the terminologies. I'm an expert in the field, but I don't wanna go out there and paint homes. It's not logical for me. It's not dollar productive for me. I should be out there growing the business and spending my time on creating more income, right? So how are we going to do the fulfillment? Simple, contractor arbitrage, find the guys which are the best in their field, let them do the fulfillment for our clients so that our clients are forever happy, so are we. And lastly is how to build a brand around the business. We want the name to be a household name so that we not only have to pay for customers, but then customers naturally start coming to us. How do we get those reviews up? What are the systems in place that we need to build these things out? So I'm gonna show you everything on this journey, guys. We're actually going to do this from 0 to 100K per month. Enjoy. So that being said, I'm gonna jump into my iPad and walk you through a couple of the steps straight away. So point number one is obviously leverage, right? What are we gonna do to leverage a skill set? So our skill set is we know how to market, we know how to sell, and we know how to buy back our time. And when I say we, that's myself and my wife, who is going to be running the business with me. So in terms of our skill sets, it's pretty damn good and really scalable skill sets, right? So how we want to ask ourselves, how are we going to buy back our time? How are we going to sell? And how are we going to market? Okay, let's answer question number one, which is market, right? Well, we're gonna market by doing meta ads, direct to consumer, so direct to our customers. So we're gonna do B2C, okay, so my business to customer. And what's the funnel sort of look like for these ads? Well, simple. We're probably gonna run some sort of static ad right here. It's like a photo ad, if you don't know what a static ad is. So it's like a photo, which is gonna prompt them to opt in into a lead form. And this is probably gonna say free quote, right? And then they're gonna opt in for that free quote. They're gonna fill out their details. 1, 2, 3. So name, email, phone number. Maybe we're gonna have another section there, which is gonna ask them a couple more qualifying questions, just to make sure that they're our ideal avatar. We can actually help them. And then lastly, it's going to take them to a thank you page. Super simple funnel, no fancy landing page or anything like that. It's literally like Facebook ad into Facebook lead form, into just Facebook lead form again, which is the qualifying questions, into thank you page. From this thank you page, it's actually going to set off an automation to go into our CRM, which then from our CRM, we call and book the app. That's it. That's going to be our funnel. So simple, so easy, right? We don't need anything complex for now. When we start getting friction, unqualified prospects, then we can add some complexity in the mix. But for now, it's literally like a meta ad to lead form, static photo to lead form to thank you page, sets off the automation to CRM, which we can say is go high level, right? From go high level, we get the notification that a new lead's come in, we call, we book, and then lastly, just to finish the whole funnel, give you some clarity, we sell and we fulfill, right? That's it. Once it's done, we collect cash. Yay. That's the funnel. You don't need anything crazy. Cool. What's next? So we've done marketing now. We can check that off. How are we going to sell? I think the most easy and logical way to buy back our time, this is what we've done, right, is from here, we're going to call and actually do a virtual quote. Now, you do have to know sort of some sort of numbers of heart. I know those things, thankfully. And so I can afford to do a virtual quote where I don't need to drive out. I don't need to go out on site and actually book them for an appointment. Alrighty guys, you know, I would continue with my amazing drawing, but it looks like my pen has just died. Don't we love technology? This is what you get for not being prepared. But in saying that, what we're gonna do is we're going to take them from our CRM so they come in once their lead form. We're gonna get notified. Then we're gonna call them. And we're gonna mention that this is our pricing, XYZ, give them a virtual quote. So I don't physically have to drive out. I don't have to drive 20 minutes every single day, 30 minutes and be on the road 24/7. I'm gonna give them virtual quotations. Now, virtual quotations can be a bit dangerous. We'll talk about that on another video. We're gonna go out and give them a virtual quotation and then sell them on it. Okay, so imagine me, I call you, we chat, get all the details, send them the quote, follow up with them after the quote is sent out, and then ask them if everything makes sense. They either say yes or no, because remember, these leads, we want to make sure that they're buttery and ready to buy. They got high intent. And so if the quote makes sense for them on the spot, make sure we lock it in. We're going to take processes in terms of how to lock it in. So we want to make sure that we get a deposit so that they're financially locked in, and then we organize the teams. Okay, and so the sale is finished, we actually get into the fulfillment side of things. So we actually crossed off the sale and we've crossed off the time. Unfortunately, I can't tick it because of my stupid pen. But that's what we're gonna do. That's our funnel breakdown. That's how we're gonna run the thing and absolutely crush it. Stay tuned for the next video, because in the next video, I'm actually gonna break down how we're gonna do the offer. See you soon.